Here's what we've done so far. As you know, I'm a charter member. I was here when this started, so was Elaine. Some of the others of you were probably here when we first started. We had 4 big problems. A vast and hostile territory, the state of Texas. We had a lack of functional structure and leadership. We didn't have any, in other words. We had no experience in fighting back. And I challenge you to remember when retirees ever fought back before this century. When did retirees ever stand up on retiree issues? They weren't supposed to. They were supposed to keep their mouth shut and stay in their rocking chairs and get robbed. That's what was going on until we started the fight back. We had, at that point when we started, we didn't have any experience in fight back. We didn't really know too much about it. And we were prohibited from doing political work because of our tax status. We're incorporated under tax code 501c3, which means you can accept money, but you can't do anything. You can't even have candidates come and talk to you at your meeting. You can't advise them. They can come, but you can't advise them. And we had some rough times about that because people wanted to advise candidates. Now, taking those in order, we can see that we are still stuck with a vast and terrible, hostile territory. Not only are the people of Texas voting against retiree benefits, but so are the retirees. They have no proper information. They're voting to cut their own throats. They're the chickens voting for Colonel Sanders. 71% of the over 65 demographic in Texas voted Republican in November. And that's not unusual. Of course, it was nationwide. It was bad nationwide as well. But Texas is our deal. On the good side, on the election, by the way, we had record numbers of retirees voting by mail. And that's something that we've been working on. That's one of the projects that the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans has taken on, is to make sure that retirees over 65 know that Texas has a very liberal vote by mail law. It actually does, and we've been trying to take advantage of that. On the lack of functional structure and leadership, we had nobody anywhere. And the only people we did have were union members. There's about 104,000 members of Texas Alliance for Retired Americans here in Texas. That means that their unions paid their dues. We can't find them. We don't know who they are, but we do know the 104,000 is the number that National gave us. But if you look at the census, there's over 2 million retirees live here. Yeah. Texas is the second largest retiree population in America next to Florida. It's the second largest in terms of people who move here just to retire. There are more people move here to retire than there are in California. I don't know exactly why that is, but that's for sure. Yeah, they can't afford California.
They can't keep up with California.
Maybe that's it. But at any rate, Texas has a lot of retirees. It's very big. We had no structure. Now, thanks largely to the work of Judy Bryant, we have a chapter in Corpus Christi. We have a chapter in Austin. We have a chapter in Fort Worth. We have a chapter in Dallas. And San Antonio, which is probably the largest affiliate here, has changed its bylaws so that people who are not union members can get involved and work with them. That's tremendous. Good work, San Antonio. Congratulations, San Antonio. Now, reaching those 2 million other retirees, that's our job. That's what we have to do. We can't just be content with the fact that we know each other and that we've got this little group at this union and that little group at that union, and they're not allowed to go to each other's meetings. So that's the way it is. For nearly every union, there's one exception. There's a very, very big exception, and that's the steelworkers. The steelworkers retiree group is called SOAR. There they are right there. Congratulations, SOAR. And that's SOAR right over there. The SOAR guys from Corpus Christi already jumped in, forming a chapter of the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans so that if you live in Corpus Christi or around Corpus Christi and you're a retiree, you don't have to ask where to go. You can go to that chapter. Everybody is welcome. Everybody is invited. Well, SOAR is like that. They have some requirements. You can't just walk up and say, I'm a member. But they allow everybody to join in the activities with the steelworkers. I wish the rest of the unions would do that, but so far I haven't seen any movement on it. And when I talk to them, they don't know what I'm talking about. They just, I'm an auto workers, and the auto workers union never even thought about having anybody but auto workers at their retiree lunches. And really, there are some problems. You have to figure out how to do it, but it needs to be done. Everybody should be doing what the steelworkers do. But in the meantime, the Alliance for Retired Americans is open to everybody. And that's why it is so essential that we have, especially in the major cities, a place where union brothers and sisters and non-union brothers and sisters can work together. After all, what difference is there among us? How do they differ? Every one of them is worried sick about Social Security. They're worried about Medicare. They're worried about Medicaid. And they're worried about pensions. And almost everything else doesn't even matter to us. So everybody that's a retiree has pretty much the same concerns and should be working together. That's our task. That's your task. It's the answer. It works. It works. These chapters that we've already established are really working. The leading person in our Dallas chapter, for example, sitting right there, Barbara Rojas in the gray sweater. Good, hold his hand. Without her, she does just about everything that happens over there. And Barbara, you don't have a union membership, do you?
No.
You just came to this because you recognize the importance?
I never even, I knew that we had unions, but I never knew anything about unions. Until I joined CAR.
But you recognize the importance of retiree issues, and she jumped in. She's been great. And she's heading up things there now. Our president of that group is in the hospital with heart problems. But Barbara was really running things even before that. It's like my wife says, the men do all the talking, but the women do all the work. We had no experience in the past. We had no experience in fighting back. We didn't know how, and we had never even thought about it. But look at it today. Did you see that list Judy had of just actions just in 2014? That was only 1 year. There were times that we did 2 a week and sometimes 3 a week. And I'm not just talking about actions where you pass out a petition. I'm talking about on the street. I'm talking about up in the mayor's face. I'm talking about hitting it against the evils that are besetting the retired people of America and taking it to the public and getting some earned media for it while we were at it. So we've got those things, and we also have a pretty good electronic outreach. That's gains that have been made. I'm not trying to say we're a big and strong organization, because you can look around the room and you know we're not. You know there's over 2 million retirees in Texas, and there's only 47 of us here. So, but you do know also that we are on the right track. Bringing retirees together, union retirees with non-union retirees, and bringing them together, that's what we're all about, and that's what's working. Judy brought up Senior Day and the anniversary of Medicare, which are targets for us, big targets. I want to bring up one thing that has not been discussed very much, and that is, we heard talk about the pension fund here in Texas, did we not? Did you know the same thing is true in state after state all across the country? Did you know that pensions are being underfunded? And did you know that it's not just state workers? It's not just federal workers. It's not just private sector workers. Pensions are being underfunded all across the United States. Sometimes with the permission of Congress, like the airlines got Congress to let them lower their contributions to the pension. And sometimes companies have just done it. Pensions are underfunded everywhere. And it is my opinion, I'm going to give this opinion even though I seem to be the only one. I don't think they intend to fix those pensions. I don't think without a fight, without a really big fight from retirees, we're not going to see pensions fixed in this country. We're going to see what happened in December, where they start saying it is okay to cut the pensions of existing retirees. Which, that's what happened in December nationwide in the omnibus spending bill. It's what happened in Detroit and a lot of companies through the bankruptcy law. But this is the first time the U.S. Congress ever said it is okay. You can cut existing retirees' pensions, whatever promises you have, no matter how much they rely on it, no matter what kind of bills they have, you can just say, live or die, you're getting a cut. And Congress said that to some of the retiree pension plans this last month. I want to propose a statewide tour. We have never done anything like that. We don't have the money. We never have had the money. We've never even thought of it before. But leading up to this July 30th date on the privatization of Medicare, we need to have as many actions and as many enlightened retirees across the state as we possibly have. I think we need to think through how to do a statewide tour, and what would be your role in that? Your role would primarily be, first of all, to set up something in your own area. Something maybe with your congressman, something maybe with your Central Labor Council, maybe something with this or that retiree organization, something with the media, or just a meeting in the park, or just a weenie roast. Something, any kind of action in which we bring up the issue of the privatizing of Medicare, save Medicare, and get as many actions as we can have before July the 30th. Are you with me on that? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll have to raise more money than we've been raising, but we can do it, and I think we should do it. Now, on money raising, as you know, it's no secret we get nearly all of our money from union organizations. For the first several years, we only got money from the machinists. When we first started out, we only got money from the machinists. And now we've got several unions that subscribe to us and give us $1,000 or more a month. Each one of those gets a vice president on our board. Oh, I'm sorry, a year. $1,000 a month. That was a Freudian slip. But an increasing amount of our money, an increasing proportion of our money is now coming from our members. And it's coming just in like $75 donation that we saw on our PayPal account the day before yesterday. And just like the other day when I opened my email and a woman named Yolanda had made a donation. But not only that, when she did the PayPal donation, she checked that little box that said recurring donation. So she'll be getting that donation every month. That's Yolanda. I just did it. And there's a half a dozen other people in this room, including Barbara, that have already done that. These monthly pledges, is that the pledge form? That's the pledge form. Okay. You don't have to use the pledge form. If you're embarrassed or if you don't want to take the time, you can just go on PayPal, go on our website, and click donate, and then it'll take you to the PayPal, and you put an amount, and then you put recurring donation. You click, it's just a little box, you just click it one time, and then your donation becomes a monthly donation. It doesn't have to be big. The smaller ones are $5. The biggest one we got is only $20. But it adds up to almost $1,000 a year. And that's only with just a handful of people. So these sustainer pledges or monthly pledges have tremendous potential For example, everybody in this room had a $5 pledge limit. Somebody figured that out. It's $2,000. It's more than 20. 200? Something like that a month, and it really added up for a year. It would be a lot. Well, we have 6,000 contacts now. We started with no contacts. We've got 6,000 contacts now. Nearly all of them retirees, and a few of them younger people who support the right to retire. And if we had a proportion of them having monthly pledges, we could become independent. That would be magnificent. The secret to what's happening, the secret to the solution for everything is to mobilize the retirees of Texas, starting with you. You are the leadership. You are the ones we've been waiting for. You're the ones you've been waiting for. You're the answer. You're the greatest hope in Texas for retiree issues today. Thank you.